back to Welsh Wargaming. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I recently purchased the Warlords of Erehwon rulebook. Something a bit different. I do like the old fantasy games. Warhammer Fantasies was probably one of my favourites. Not too fussed on Age of Sigmar, but I'm hoping this rule set will allow me to get a fantasy army on a table and have just a little bit of fun. I've been flicking through it. I haven't been out of a game yet, but it's a nice book, nice laid out. The rules seem pretty straightforward. Using the same pulling the dice as bolt action, but I'm using D10s instead of D6s, which is should be interesting. Usually I'd have gone out and bought a new army, but time's limited, so my plan is I'm going to start barbarians, which that's pretty cool with a mammoth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split my Celtic army up into the little war bands, Warlord Celts, or Gauls, or whatever you want to call them. And so I don't have to paint another army, which is always good. So then hopefully I can get playing a lot sooner. The thing is, my Celts are not very fantasy, you know. So what my plan is, I'm gonna get. Well, I've got a mammoth, so I'm gonna paint up a mammoth to include in my Celtic army. And with this book, I had a free figure, which is like he's like a sorcerer. I think he goes with a dead army, but I might calculate him up a bit, put some gold jewellery on him or something, you know, or maybe even paint just like the blue war paint, just to make him fit into my army as like a sorcerer. So I've got that. I've also purchased this from DZ Miniatures, or Arcane Scenery, I think it came from. Yeah, Arcane. Well, as soon as I seen the mammoth in the army list book, or the army list entry, I thought I gotta get a mammoth. So there she is, in all his glory. Quite a big figure, but seeing this resin, it's not that heavy. I think it's quite light considering this resin. But yeah, so I'll stick converted rider. In the book, it's supposed to have 4 crew. I was thinking of using a war elephant from Victrix, but I think they're a little bit small to what Celts I got. I got the Warlord Celts. So this is one of my 20-man units or bands or whatever. So I'm going to split them up. I think you only need 4 to 5 figures for a unit in Warlords of Erehwon. So I should get a fair amount, because I've got 2 of these 20-man blocks painted up. Well, I'll move over now so you can see my Celts. Oh, there's my Celts, what I've got painted so far. I have got more to do. So if I do need more Celts, I'll paint more up. So I've got some horsemen. I do like them, the Celtic cavalry. My warlord, he's already looking a bit of a beast with his dogs, so he should fit in nice with a bit of a fantasy setting. I know Arcane Scenery or DZ Miniatures, they do all sorts of animals. They got tigers and lions and bears. So I might get maybe 1 or 2 bears to run in the army as well, because you can take you can allied monsters with your army, and there's cave bears in the entry. So there's metal tusks. I'll bend them round to make them look thing. I might put I got some barbed wire as well. I might put a bit of barbed wire in between, like a bit of Lord of the Rings sort of theme going in with the mimics, which would be cool. But yeah, I'll fancy him out a bit. Get some chain maybe so they can, and then I might have the crew. I might have 2 on the top, and then maybe 1 or 2 on the base itself. Maybe with chains coming from his tusks or something to like show like they're controlling him or something. Do you mean? I don't know. I'll see what I can come up with. But yeah, I'm excited to play in this game, to be honest with you. I'm excited running a mammoth in the midst of my Celts, to be honest with you. But you look at the scale of them. It's a fair old size, so I'm happy with it. Looking at it on top, yeah, I think it'll work. Well, I'll make it work anyway. It'll look alright. I think it'll look alright. So that's my mammoth. I'll scope around now. You can see him in the army. There he is. Look. These look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to putting him on a table now anyway. But yeah, so we'll have a look at the I'll have a look at the mammoth entry now in the rule book, and then I'll tell you what he's about. The army lists basically in Warlords of Erehwon is barbarians, which you can use anything barbarians. I was even thinking of trying to get some of the old Warhammer Chaos Warriors, like they had all the fur on and helmets, but I don't really want to be buying more men. Beastmen, dwarves, elves, gnolls. They're like dogs, like walking dogs really. In here anyway, goblins, halflings, knights, Olympians like Greeks and stuff. What's that? Look. Orcs, undead, and monsters. Well, the monsters is like dragons, bears, tigers. There's all sorts in here. The undead looks pretty cool. There's the that's the guy I had free. So I think he'll fit in once painted. To be honest with you, I might cut off. I might not put that dead guy on it. I might try and get some spare heads maybe on the base, some skulls. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to playing the game. I hope it should be quite a quick game to play. It seems pretty straightforward. The magic is not all. The magic is. I think it's nice. It's a little bit of magic, which is good. It's not too much. It's not silly. Like you can like cast a spell and like wipes half of someone's army out, like, you know. But there's the mammoth entry anyway. So it's basically supposed to have 4 riders with it. I don't think I'll be able to get 4 on the mammoth without it looking a bit silly. But I'll see what I can do. So it's only agility 4, strength 5, resistance 12. So it should be pretty tough to bring down. Well, I'm hoping it'll be pretty tough to bring down. But knowing my luck, you'll probably get took down by a stone throw or something. Or a little halfling with a slingshot. Which would be pretty funny. But, so yeah, thanks for watching. And hopefully we'll be seeing a mammoth storming on the table soon. I'm probably I'm gonna undercoat him now, sort of base. Have a look through my box of celts to see what I can use to stick on him. And then yeah, so I'll see you again. Happy hobbying. Hey guys, so I decided to film a little bit more of the video to show you the mammoth painted up, and I've actually had a game with it last night as well. So I'll have a little chat about that as well. But there he is in all his glory. I decided to put like a bit of war paint on him, just sort of fantasy him up a bit. Some wire across his tusks. In the rules, it comes with 4 crew. I didn't really want to stick 4 guys on him because I think he'd look a bit over the top. But I stuck a bowman on him and a spearman, and then 2 foot guys either side. Then I was going to model it with chains to look like this sort of controlling a mammoth, but well, I decided not to in the end. But you pay extra for the bow. It's only 2 points, and last night's game was actually worth it because he charged me with his hero, and my bow and my spearman hit his hero, caused the pin. Didn't actually do any damage, but pins in Warlords of Erehwon are really important in combat. If you take pins on the way in, pins count at the end of the combat to see who wins and loses. So just that 1 extra pin it could have been vital. It so happens that he charged my mammoth with his hero. I'll put some pictures on the end of the video. His lance broke in the mammoth's thick hide. Didn't actually do any damage. The mammoth thrashed a little bit. Didn't actually get to... He had 4 hits on him on the night. Didn't actually do any damage to him. But then he made the knight retreat. And then the mammoth charged then into a unit of his foot knights. And I killed like 6 of them, some stew like that, in like 2 turns of combat. It's toughness 12. But you could, 10s always fail anyway, I think. So it's not like it's impossible, not impossible to kill it. He did shoot it with 20 crossbows. Actually wounded it, and then it's not wound as such because it's a monstrosity creature. So what happens is if you wound it, you get to roll on a table, and then 1 to 10 at a table decides basically what happens. He rolled a 4, which meant it took D3 plus 1 pins, it went down and his toughness reduced by D3. So his toughness was reduced to 9. So that's the way of getting it. If he'd have rolled a 10, it would have reeled up and fell over and crushed itself or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I was glad to get my mammoth in combat, because for the first couple of turns I didn't think I'd get him in combat because he's quite slow. And my opponent's priest had a like a special rule called divine. What's it called? It was divine saying. I can't remember. But basically, if he's within 20 inches of an enemy, when their dice is drawn out of the bag, he can take that dice and activate it on himself. Just 1 dice a turn. So the mammoth gets 2 dice because it's a monstrosity creature. So my first dice pulled out, I run my mammoth up. My second dice, he stole it. So I was like stuck in the middle of the table for like a turn and a half, which was quite annoying. But he's a big old target. But he survived, and I had a good laugh with him, to be honest with you. I lost 3-2 on kill units, and we playing kill dice. So, but I weren't battered, but the Knight Army is very, very tough. Their command is really high, and their armor is really high as well. So my barbarians struggled a little bit to get through it and actually break units. But a few times my normal barbarian guys, they fended off a charge, especially with lances, beat them back, killed a few. So I was happy. My warlord, or my chieftain, managed to hack down his hero, the guy who charged the mammoth, so that was pretty epic. Yeah, so it was a good game. Really enjoyed it. It was weird playing with D10s. You know, it took a while to get my head around it, because I've never played with D10s before. And the lower you roll is the better, so that was a little bit like your head sort of stuck, like, do you mean? But it's a good game. Really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to my next game. I've ordered some chariots, because I do want some chariots anyway for my Celts. But they got rules for it in Warlords erehwon as well. So I've ordered a few chariots from Victrix. So when they do come, I might do a little bit of an unboxing and show you then. I've seen pictures of them made and painted. They look absolutely epic. Although my painting's not that good, but they look really good for the price as well. I think it's 3 chariots for like 18 quid, which, to be fair, that's good value. That is. It's like 6 quid a chariot. No, I'm happy with that. So yeah, they're on the way. But yeah, really happy with my mammoth. This model, I tell you what, it's come to my favourite model I got so far. Out of all the stuff that I've got, Warhammer, bolt action, this is probably my favourite model. I'm so happy I found it. If you do want to have a look, on eBay I got it from, Arcane Scenery, or DZ Miniatures. They do like lions, tigers. It's like animals. It is. They got mammoths, a woolly rhino. They got a bear. So I think my next purchase might be another mammoth, but this one's bellowing. So as you can see, it's like sort of trumpeting. You can get a normal one which is like walking. So I might pick that one up. I think I'm gonna try and make like the box for the back and put some guys on it. I'll try it and see what it looks like, just to run a bit more different. And also I want a bear to run in my barbarian army, which would be fun to run a bear. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If any of you guys have got a Warlords erehwon book, and or you didn't, you're sort of looking at it thinking, oh, I don't know whether to play or not. If you've got an old fantasy army, it's the perfect rule set to drag that old fantasy army out in our game, because it's not made to sell miniatures. It's just made for people just to play with out of production armies. Like I sort of miss fantasy. I used to like the old Warhammer fantasy. I really did like that, and I was a bit gutted really when they killed it. I tried to play Age of Sigmar, but it's yeah, it's just not for me. I don't know why. I didn't like it. I gave it a go, but it's not for me. But I do like this game. I really enjoy my match. It do help mind the Mark, the guy who's playing, is he's a really cool player. We had a right laugh. A few bits in the game which I think need a little bit of a fix. There's basically you can keep run orders. So at the end of it, if you run a unit, at the end of the turn, you can keep a run order on a unit if they got a fast special rule. So it's mostly for cavalry, or maybe the dogs and stuff like that. I got it. But what that means then is before the next turn, you can run that unit. And it sounds crazy, but so what he done was he run up, kept him on run. Before turn 2, you can run him again. So basically, you activate them first before the turn. They can't act that turn, but you can charge. So he charged me before I could actually even draw the dice. So it's like you're sort of guaranteeing yourself like the second turn charge maybe. And then if they break the unit they charged, they can keep that run order on and they can just keep doing it. So I think that needs changing. I think I lost more models before turn 2, between turn 1 and turn 2, than I did the whole game. Because he had like 4 or 5 units kept on run, and he just all crashed into me. It's quite thematic with cavalry, because cavalry, they should be charged forward, break through the lines, get behind. But as in game terms, I think it was a little bit too powerful if you're facing a lot of cavalry, which he did have a lot of cavalry, because he was using his Saga Templars army, which, by the way, is ridiculously painted. It's absolutely amazing. I'll put some pictures at the end of the video, but the pictures don't do his army justice. It was really, really nicely painted, and it was there's one picture of his knight, his hero knight, which is a bit like a character killer, charging my mammoth, which was like, that was a pretty epic part of the game, to be honest with you. It was worth just taking in just to see that. But yeah, so hopefully we're seeing a little bit more of a bit more fantasy. I'm not getting bored of World War II, but I painted so many Germans and boat action and vehicles that it's nice to paint something different. Purchase some like different models which I probably wouldn't have purchased before. So yeah, it's a nice break, to be honest with you. But I won't be going off Germans and boat action because I've got a lot of stuff to do. I planned a few videos as well. But yeah, so thanks for listening and happy hobbying.